Stop sharing.
Right. It's been a minute. I forgot which buttons to push. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jason. That's Deke. So,
Hello.
last time we talked, did you decide you were changing your name? I don't remember.
Hello, sir.
Good morning. It's been
a minute.
what is it? How'd that song go? It's been 1 week since
you looked at me. Crazy. This is like a thing that y'all do every year. You take a couple of weeks off and
yeah.
you spend and you do family stuff, and I think that's really cool.
Look, some of it. I meant to tell you this. I think maybe I texted. I don't know. I drove to Austin for a couple days to see my dad, and then I drove back, and then I drove to Dallas, and then I went on to Google Maps, and I don't know if you know
which for those of you that don't know Texas, Austin and Dallas are both in Texas, and they're separated by like 7,000 miles.
I added up. So in 7 days, I spent 5 of those days driving. I spent 2 of those days here at my house, just like going no farther than the gas station or whatever. And I added it up how much I drove in those 5 of those 7 days. I drove 1,018 miles.
My God.
And then I was like, so this is why I was so tired. I was like, I can't do anything, dude. I can't. When we're driving, when we're traveling, first of all.
That's okay. Let me tell you what I hate about it. I love driving, the act of driving. I like driving.
I don't mind.
I'm not one of these. I like driving. I like looking and I like it. But I'm old and I can't stay in one position that long before my back starts screaming at me and I can't walk.
I'm going to do a performance. This is me driving the car. Hey, girls, look, cows. This is my kids.
Yep. Everybody else.
Look, a goat, goats.
We used to play car games. You know, the big one that Mom used to do is that she would give me like a nickel or something for every new license plate that I would see. So I had an incentive to look out the window, but you know, you would see like, oh, there's Illinois, a new state. Let me say a new license plate state. So every once in a while you go and you see one from like New York or Hawaii was always the big one. We're like, whoa, how'd you get that? You know,
I'm trying to reverse engineer this from a parenting perspective. Was this to get you to somehow shut up and concentrate on license plates?
You know how much I don't stop talking. Can you imagine my?
Because otherwise, I can imagine this backfire and be like, nope, that's Kentucky. Nope, that's Kentucky. No. And she's paying you.
We were talking about this just not too long ago. I was in the gifted program in school, and my gifted education teacher passed away recently. It was last year or something. We were talking about her and all the great things that she did, and I hit a core memory with her that she did, and I was with her for several years. I had the same teacher, you know, one day a week in these classes for like 3rd grade to 6th grade or something, and Miss Bogus, and she would always make me count the spiral. There was the bookshelf. She would make me count the spirals on each book and then add those together. And then she would make me count the squares on the wall and then the tiles. Every ceiling tile had dots and all the dots were uniform. And that's how she would. And I thought about this years later. I'm like, that's how she got me to shut up. That's how she got me to calm down, was to get me, look, Andy, count the spirals on those notebooks and give me the answer and then add them together and divide by 4 or whatever. And
she didn't know the answer. She had no idea what the correct
No.
answer was.
You're trying to get me to shut up.
It was just quiet work. Just be quiet and do something unproductive.
So how was your Christmas and New Year? Everything go good?
Let me see if I can sum it up.
The girls have a good time?
Went to see my dad. His wife isn't feeling too great, so we didn't see her, but we saw my dad, and I took my dad and my kids to see a movie. They wanted to watch Sonic 3. When I say they, I mean my kids, not my dad. My dad did not want to do that, but I was like, "Sorry, Dad, you're gonna go watch Sonic 3." And my daughters, especially my oldest, Jill, thought that movie was the funniest thing in the world. She thought it was hilarious. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny. It's a little bit. And my dad is just sitting over there like, what is this? Why? He was like, well, I haven't seen the first two. I don't know. And I was like, it's cartoon. Cartoon hedgehog runs fast. You're going to catch up on the plot real fast.
Yeah.
Backing out of this, old man.
You're not backing out of this one.
Yeah. So that was our trip to Austin. And then the DFW was like, that's the one where I got to go. In-laws, and then my family, and driving. That's where we play tic-tac. We play all over the Metroplex. There's a lot of work driving. Oh, we went to the Gaylord on Ice. Gaylord on Ice. I have never heard of it, but it's a resort hotel that's up in the DFW area in Grapevine, and they have this show of ice sculptures. And I guess they bring in this like super clear ice and they stack it up into walls, and then they carve it into elves and Santa Claus and all this and stuff. And there's a nativity at the end. And you go in, like, it was, let me tell you, dude, I don't know how cold it's been in Kentucky, but in Texas, it's been about 75 degrees. So no problem. We go into Gaylord on Ice, and you walk in and you check your ticket, and they're like, here you go. And they hand you a parka. And I'm like, parka? We're inside of a hotel. What's going on here? They hand you a parka. You step through this door. It's cold. It is really, really cold. I'm like, I don't even know how you guys made it this cold in here. It is see your breath weather. The ice is doing just fine cold. So we did that.
It's 29 degrees this morning. And me and a little dude went outside and was like, oh, we need to go back inside and get our Carhartt coat this morning. It's cold.
Yeah. I see you don't have your hair dryer fan on your back. Did your boss ever fix the heat? Yeah. Oh, you got it handy. Did he ever fix the heat?
Yeah. The heat was fixed. Okay. Yeah. It's good. Excellent. I think it's honestly like 80 degrees in here, but this is an old building and it's not 80 degrees. So yeah. Well, good. How was your we had a good, I got to see my kids and spend time with my kids and my family and my loved ones. And I mean, it was really good. Me and Ashley's just been busy. This is basketball season for me. So, we've had all these tournament games and stuff like that. So I've been running back and forth and just doing a lot of work, to be honest. I did get something. Go ahead and ask that question.
Well, no, I just, do you feel like time is slipping away a lot faster, or does it feel like the same space?
Every freaking day. I've always been infatuated with time since I was a kid and time travel stories and stuff like that. When I got older, I started getting into the actual, the thought, the philosophy of time and all these different philosophies and what time is and stuff like that. And there is a fundamental truth that I do believe is that time is not a set thing that we measure in hours and minutes and seconds, because as a child, time drags on forever.
Oh, right. Yeah. It takes
but as an adult, time goes so quickly. So quickly. It moves so much different.
I have a thought about this. Oh, you had another story, but I have a thought about this. So you know how when you get a new phone, it's like super fast. And then it gets older and it's like a little slower. And it's like, did the phone change or is it actually slowing down? Well, your original hardware is right up here. And then when you were a kid, it worked great.
Do you think can I get a button installed to where I can defrag everything?
I don't know, but I think perhaps when you were a kid, it was like, you could everything was slow because you were so fast. And now little opposite's true.
Okay,
Everything
that's
is like
true.
a little
That's true.
slower and
I
like,
got a few. I got a few apps in
what's
here that
going
I really
on?
need to get rid of that I haven't used in years and years. I just need to delete them.
Yeah.
You're
All right.
exactly right.
Okay, you were
No,
gonna
I
say
was gonna
something else.
say, I got some cool, I got a couple of really cool presents. I got a heated jacket, but I got some
Mm,
of those, I had been wanting them. I had got some of those translator earbuds.
what?
Yeah, yeah. They're really good earbuds, and they kinda fit over your ear. They don't go in your
Translator?
ear, and they go around,
You have
but they all it is,
Babelfish?
basically, it's a Babelfish from Hitchhikers.
That's
It's it
wild.
but when I got it and I looked at it and it goes with an app and whatnot, and I'm like, I know what this is, and I know how we can make millions of dollars off this. And I told Ashley, she was like, "How do they work?" I was like, "They work." I was like, "But all this is an earbud with an AI in it, an AI model that has all the languages. It's just and I use the app. Like if I have the earbud in, I have to hit the app, you
Is it
know?
not
And
just doing Google Translate? It's doing like
that's what it is. That's what it's basically doing. That's what
mm.
it's basically doing, but it pops it to your ear, you know? Oh, I can't do it. It'll start connecting
All
my
right,
headphones.
so the obvious
It's
use for
cool.
somebody showed up and then left. The obvious use for this is you go somewhere where you don't understand something and they can speak your language, right?
Right.
But I'm sure you can turn that thing around where everybody that's talking English, you can be hearing Klingon or Portuguese or
That would be awesome. So, we
Alright.
had a good time. I like spending time with my kids when I could spend time and see my kids and stuff.
Oh, let me tell you something else. You're about as old as I am. I think you're a year older than me. And I believe and I think you were too old to give a shit about Pokemon whenever
Yeah.
Pokemon
Yeah.
showed up. It was
Yeah.
like a cartoon or something, and
That hit about our late teens is when it first
Mhm.
started coming out, and we were too cool for school then for these little
Right,
silly Pokemon,
right, yeah,
Pikachu stuff, and I
sure.
always liked the game, and I learned how to play the game,
Oh, you learned
and
how to play.
yeah, yeah, I played with Deacon and Alex when they were kids. We would sit on the floor and play, and it's a cool concept with the game, with the rules and the strategy and stuff. It's really because I played Magic the Gathering when it first came out, and I mean,
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah, I like Magic.
don't play anymore, but I used to play on my phone all the time. But I really
Mhm.
like that the card game strategy stuff like that, and so I respect Pokemon, but yeah, it came out when we were in our
It
late
was yeah,
teens, early 20s.
about I don't know, sometime in the
When
last
did it
year,
come out?
just
Crap.
I don't know, like, I think the late '90s maybe. Sometime in the last year, it's some random time because we just buy books
96,
all the time, but we
96.
buy books. Yeah,
We were 18,
I
17,
I
18,
was in
19.
high school.
Yeah.
Uh, they Pokemon has these books that it's just like an encyclopedia of their own characters or whatever
Yeah.
it is. And when Jill was learning to read, I mean, we have a lot of books in this house, and I mean a lot of books in this house. And
It's
she
good.
was just like, whatever. And I was like, sure, yeah, it's got colorful pictures and whatever. And then like about like 6 months ago, something showed up with like a Pokemon, a picture or a doll or something, and she was like, "Oh, that's this one, and it does da 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 da." And I was like, "What are you talking about? Where did you learn about this kind of a Pokemon?" It's in the book. She had read the entire book and knew like all of their names and what they did or whatever they did. I don't know. And I was like, "Well, that's I did not expect that. I thought you might look at it a little bit and like,
She's got a very good
whatever." But
memory.
yeah. And so I think she ended up getting, like, some Pokemon, like, little toy gifts from somewhere, or I don't know, she got a couple of and then, and so, like, about a month ago, or maybe around Thanksgiving, I was like, "Well, if you wanna, like there's a Pokemon game if you wanna play a Pokemon game," and she was like, "Yeah." So, I bought her some box at Walmart that had, like, 2 decks or 3 decks in it. It was She will not stop asking me to play Pokemon now. It's
Yeah.
like I was like, "Do you wanna go play a game? I got a board game for Christmas called Ruterra, Planet Ruterra or something." She's like, "Let's play Pokemon."
See,
Pokemon.
that's really good. That's really awesome. You should sit down and play with her more.
Oh, no, we play a lot. We play a
Oh,
bunch,
good.
and
Yeah.
she, wins sometimes, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Deke got
So I
really
now
good at it. He would beat me every time.
I now know more about Pokemon than I have known in
It's
25,
a
30
cute little
years or whatever.
game. I
I
mean,
had
isn't it?
I
But
I think
look at
so,
all the
it's fun.
things that it's building in her brain with
Oh,
strategy
yeah.
and
I will, look, my wife won't play these any of these kinds of games. She won't play with, like, where there's a story and fantasy or whatever. She'll play, like, Uno and, like, lots of she'll play games, but she won't play these kind of games. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, like, yeah, it's kinda nerdy or whatever, but it builds it builds second and third order thinking. Just like in chess, where you think about what you're gonna do, and then you think about
yep,
what they're gonna do, and then you think
yep,
about what you're gonna do after they do that.
yep.
So it builds second, third order thinking. And I think that's very valuable. Like the ability to foresee consequences and then
I've
respond in anticipation of those
And that's
consequences
what I've
is
tried to
um,
that's what my mom kind of instilled in me, and I always do, and
I
I've
have
tried to instill in my children. Alex knows
yeah.
that, to not act on impulse and to
I
always
think
have a contingency plan or 2.
I think that simple skill of being able to see beyond one move,
Mhm.
I have a theory that that will prevent you from becoming a Democrat.
That's, it's funny this comes to that because that is something, that's a couple of different things that I've always joked to be able to be a good DJ. Because I've
Mhm.
trained a lot of DJs over 30 years, and people will ask, all kinds of different questions. What do you need to do to be a DJ? How much degree? How much school? Blah blah blah. Always like 2 things you need to do to be you need to be good at,
Right.
or 3. One is you need to be good at being able to talk to yourself and answer
Okay.
yourself. All right. Number 2 is you need to be able to pat your head and rub your belly. You need to be able to do 2 things at once and still
Right.
focus on both things and do them okay. You got to be able to talk and do, and you got to be able to do that. And number 3 is what you just said. That is a key to being a good DJ, is to anticipate 3. I know what's coming up. Like, I'm looking at my clock, it's 8:22. I know what I'm doing at 10:20. At my break at 10:20, I already know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
and
You're
if
ready.
something comes in, I can change that. But
Right.
that's a and I wanna let me just get to this real quick too, because this is a
Yeah.
fascinating thing, and this is something that meant a lot to me as a kid, 'cause, sometimes it comes back out on X. I'm in these certain circles, Dungeons& and Dragons circles, and D&D's taking a crazy turn right now in the
Oh,
whole
really?
D&D world. Yeah, the makers of D&D, Hasbro and WotC, are kinda crapping on all the old school players, and all the old
Right.
school players are revolting, and it's just nobody's buying this new book, and it's there was it's ridiculous how the game has turned. But back when I played in the 80s during the satanic panic, um,
Yeah.
it was a bad thing to play. All right. My mom, who let me do just about anything, frowned upon it, and was like, "I hope you're not doing this, and I hope you're not doing this." And we didn't have
Right.
gods and stuff like that. To appease our parents, we didn't have gods in our games. We were like a Conan the Barbarian type knight
Right.
rescuing the dragon. There was no praying to your god for power and stuff like that you can get into. So I had to write I don't remember why I wrote it, but I wrote this essay in high school about Dungeons and Dragons, because the teacher, I mean, all parents did not like it. And I wrote this essay, and the teacher really liked it. And she was like, "You've changed my mind on this," because I pointed out that Dungeons and Dragons, and now that I'm older, I can see this in hindsight, it puts these kids into situations with that are in you're in extreme danger. you know you've got to make a decision immediately, and your decision is going to affect everything else that happens. All right.
Right.
It could affect, and your character could die, and you got to roll up a new character, or this character that you've spent a year playing could go. So it puts you in these stressful situations where you've got to make a decision. It lets you have teamwork. It lets you work out how to work with a team and work through and find who's good at what and what you're good at and who you completely need to avoid. And sometimes you get in a team where there's a prick who's trying to ruin everything, you know. So you learn all of these crucial life skills by playing this imaginary
By
person
proxy.
in this imaginary game by proxy. And then when you actually become an adult, you can be like, actions have consequences, because my guy Caramon got his leg cut off that time that I tried to go and rescue my buddy because I thought he was really, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think that it may okay, so I can see your argument that like Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games provide a safe proxy environment for encountering danger and making decisions and things
Making
like that.
decisions,
But
and not so much
does it
danger, but putting you in situations that require critical
does it
thinking.
is it fair to say that it also makes things like choices in life disposable because one of the consequences is that you can just start over?
No, no,
You don't think so?
no. You can, it depends. I mean, we've played games to where you're dead, you're dead.
Well, no, I mean start over like, oh well, I'll just make a new guy. I'll just make a new guy. But that's kind of a little bit of a pain in the I think it's the most fun part.
That's
So I would
okay.
be
So no, that is a fun part for me, but that's not a fun part for everyone, and that's kind of a consequence. So if you
right.
make this decision and you die and you have to roll up this character, this is what I always pointed out to. I spent 3 weeks coming up with a backstory on my guy.
Yeah.
I've went through all the books, I've rolled the dice, I've made 3 pages of details, all of his weapons, what he's wearing,
Right.
I've sketched him out. I've envisioned him in my head. I have taken him on all these
So you have
adventures.
you
I've
have like an
made these
emotional
decisions.
bond.
I've got a bond with this person,
Yeah.
with this imaginary character that's me.
All right.
And
I can see
so
that.
when
It has
I'm
to have
into this,
value for it to okay, to have a
yeah, it
consequence.
has to have value. Some people just like, my name's Elvis Drink a Lot, and I'm going to drink a lot.
Right.
Okay, they don't care. They're not going to learn anything. But if I'm invested in this character, I don't want to make a decision to where I'm going to have to be just like, well, I just roll up a new character. No, dude, I've been playing this dude for a year. Do you
Right.
know how much crap I got invested
I
into
if
Caramon?
yeah, so that's the thing. You have to have some investment of value for the choices you make to have consequence, to have
Yeah,
weight.
yeah.
And I think there's a kind of people for whom they would find a value in that creative thing. And I think that there's a person like me that maybe would just mess it up and be like, well, I'm not sure.
My buddy, his brother started playing with us, and he's my buddy too now. I've known him for 30 years. But
Yeah.
when he first started playing with us, he would try to start bar fights everywhere we went. And our buddy, the DM, would just let it roll. And so we got into bar fights everywhere. And he was just, so finally, I mean, we did stuff just to piss him off, piss his character off, because he kept getting
Mhm.
us into bar fights. I
Right.
invented this spell that the
Don't help him.
DM I invented this spell that the DM let me cast on him that
Yeah.
was, I made him smell like a female dog in heat. Is all that
Oh,
the smell did. All that the spell did was it made him smell like a female dog in heat. So everywhere we went, and it was fun for the DM, because everywhere we went, male dogs would come up and try to hump his leg. And they would start trying to fight around him. So everywhere he went, he had a bunch of male dogs trying to hump and fight all around him, and it was pissing him off. So even players like that can come up
right.
spawn creative moments.
Yeah, I guess you can give a
I've got that.
it
I've written that spell now. That's one of my homebrew spells. It's called Puppy Love.
Oh my lord. All right, can we talk about what's going on in the world?
No, I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons for 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Cybertruck.
D&D stuff? Dude, in the last like 48 hours, there's been like 2 or 3 like major attacks.
Ooh, okay, let me
Yeah.
let me start off the
Orleans.
show before we get into anything. Let me just start off the
Yeah.
show with give me moderator duties.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to start off the show with this right here. I'm not going to play any of it. I'm going to show it. I'm going to tell you to go watch it.
Yeah. All right,
Okay,
go
hang
ahead.
on. Okay, here we go. You need to go to YouTube and look up the Sean Ryan show
Oh,
and look for this woman.
I saw your comment about an hour in. Is that what you said it was? Or is this different? This is different?
No, this is a different one.
Oh, okay.
No, this is, the Lee Strobel one was good. About an hour in is where he's talking about 666 is not the number of Satan. It's 616.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I missed it. Hang on, y'all. Y'all being nobody. It's just you and me.
All right. So you need to look up Sarah Adams, Sean Ryan Show, Sarah Adams, the Sean Ryan Show number 149.
Okay. I think I've seen her before. I think I've seen this episode, but it's been a long time.
No, you have not seen this episode. This is brand new. Yes.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, this one just came out just a couple of weeks ago.
She not the analyst? Okay.
She's the Pentagon lady.
Okay.
So she's talking about all this crap that's going on in this. All right. You need to go watch this show and then go and look at everything that's been going on in the past couple of days.
Give me a DL on this. What's going on? Give me a summary. What is she saying?
I can't really give a summary. You need to watch it.
So I've seen her talk to him before, or seen her talk before. She is a former CIA analyst, and
she's getting a lot of hate from the government right now because she keeps going on and she keeps saying this stuff. And yeah, she starts that show by saying, "Here's what the Pentagon has said to me after I came on your show the last time." Because Sean's because Sean was like, we have a love-hate relationship because I love to see you come on, but I always hate everything that you talk about because it pisses me off. And then she gets into, that was, they're not happy with her.
I haven't seen this one. On the previous one, she had talked about, she was running ops in Afghanistan or something like that. And she used a kid's phone to, like a kid, 20-year-old terrorist kid, son of a terrorist they were watching their phone signals and because they were after some target and they couldn't get a lock on him, and because the guy had some operational discipline where he wouldn't use his phone where he was actually in his hideouts and stuff, but the terrorist's son went into town and turned his phone on and forgot to turn it off, and they were able to use that to track him down to his base, and then she had to go to the chief of station and be like, we need to go do this op right now because we know where he is right now. And they didn't want to do it, and they were like, "F it, let's just go. We're going to just go without authority or something like that." And they bagged the bad guy. So she's a legit spy, a for real spy.
Yeah. So she drops a lot of knowledge on that. I haven't finished all of it. I've still got probably about 45 minutes left in it, but I ran across this TikTok this morning.
Okay.
And I've had like 4 people tell me, you need to watch this. You need to watch Sarah Adams on here. You need to watch this latest one. Cause I love Sean Ryan. And then I saw this come up on X this morning.
I'm a retired Secret Service agent. And I think I know a thing or two about protection and how to get through life safely. I protected presidents for 25 years. And, unfortunately I have a pretty bad feeling about what's happening right now. If you take a close look at this early morning hours event that took place down in Louisiana, and then a few hours later in Nevada, I don't believe in coincidences. Okay. You might, I don't. I think you should do yourself a favor and check out Sarah Adams. Sean Ryan's interviewed her several times, and she's been talking about what's coming our way in 2025. And if what she's talking about is what just happened, they wasted no time. Get it? You should be ready to protect yourself and defend yourself and your family. I'm not saying live in fear and be a hermit, but when you go out, for God's sake, pay attention to what's going on around you. Unfortunately, I think it's here.
So over the course of the last 4 years, we have let in millions of people and didn't screen them at all. And the window is closing. Oh, you got just smash that guy.
No.
We've let in millions of people, but that window is going to close, but it's not closed yet. So there's an opportunity for people to get in here and do some damage. And and there's a lot of people that are going to get a lot of countries are going to have negative consequence from having a Donald Trump in office that wants to protect the border, pursue American interests, isn't going to like fart around and give millions of dollars to Iran and, you know, release assets and stuff like that. So there's a lot of global actors have a downside for a Trump coming into office. So before that window closes, it seems like they need to get in. They need to do damage to us internally as much as they can and cause chaos.
I mean, honestly, I'm not even looking at it with my freaking tinfoil hat, but that's what it looks like from every other action, with the freeing of all the pardons and throwing all this money here and doing this and go. It seems like, what? Why are y'all? What?
This stuff is the fault of Joe Biden.
You got to look at, no, it's not. You got to look at it in what we said in chess moves again. Okay.
Yeah.
Why would they be trying to do this so bad? And why would these people that still vote for this, they either hate America and want to see its downfall.
Okay.
Or they are blindly stupid and the stupidest stupid of stupid and completely.
Which of those two is more likely? Which of those two is more likely?
I think the majority of people are just blindly stupid.
Never attribute to malice that which can be explained by incompetence.
Yes.
You're stupid. It's fucking stupid.
Yes. And so this makes, so what does this do? This infuriates the other side that is actually a little bit intelligent and pays attention and studied, you know, and continued their education every day of their life and doesn't pay attention to what Kim Kardashian's doing today. You know, and so it infuriates us, which could cause strife, you know,
right,
and tension and violence. So is this the plan for is it to cause strife and violence?
I would not be pursued. I mean, I would not be surprised if some faction of the Biden administration allowed some stuff to happen, not out of malice, but just thinking like, oh, well, it'll just be a monkey wrench a little bit. We'll have a little too many people in it and it'll cause a problem. And then, oh, some of those people that came through are terrorists and like the unforeseen consequence.
I think when we say the Biden administration, that's just the current label that we've got on this. You know, I mean, the squid monster has all these labels that they flip, so you're really not knowing it's the squid monster. But so I'm
not saying it's Joe Biden directly. I'm saying it's his apparatus that he's not in control of. He is not in control.
He's not in control of. So it's scary. And if you get your tinfoil hat on and start looking at it, I mean, Charlie Kirk said it beautifully. He was like in one of his videos, this guy tried to challenge the fact that America was not founded on Christian principles. It was founded on common principles and stuff. And he flat out gave him a history lesson. And he's like, look, this country, our government was founded on religious convictions, and this country is not religious anymore. And so that's why they're trying to change it. That's why they don't like these rules, because these rules are moral and they don't like them.
There's a certain school of thought that without a religious underpinning, we cannot hold society together. And, you know, in trying to be like secular and
why? Because people are stupid.
People are stupid and innately and naturally, people are bad. Okay. Oh, there's good people out there. No, there's no good people. Everybody's bad. Okay. And some blessed by God are able to restrain themselves somewhat. And that's what we call civilization, when bad people are restrain themselves by the power of God and in community help one another restrain their proclivities towards evil and sin. And so when we are bound together and helping each other be good, we can have society. And when you're like, oh, we don't need God, well, then you don't need to restrain yourself from being evil, which means we have millions of people that are just out for themselves and just doing whatever they want to do. And it is, we cannot have society without a common faith.
Devil's playground. Narcissism.
So
that's what the devil teaches, isn't it? Love yourself, worship yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, Satanists straight up. That's like their thing they do.
Worship yourself. It's all about you.
So there was a terrorist attack in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
There was a terrorist attack.
But they tried to cover up. It wasn't. They were trying to cover up that ISIS flag and all that stuff. And they're like, "Hey," then the news was like, "Hey, we don't." He wasn't he was a Muslim.
Oh yeah, he was a convert. He was a convert. He was an American citizen, converted to Islam and radicalized to believe in ISIS. And he operated out of Houston. Whoever the dude is that runs the mosque in Houston has told his congregation, he was like, Allahu Akbar, brothers and sisters, hey, if the media comes around or the FBI, then don't answer questions. Just redirect them to CAIR, which is some organization that's some radical organization for that, you know, Islam backed. So we could look into what CAIR is, but the mosque that the terrorist operated out of or came from is, they're saying, hey, button up, shoulder up, don't talk to the FBI while they investigate a terrorist incident.
Get out, move, go, bye, see ya.
Where am I gonna go?
I don't care. Get on a plane and go east or west.
Oh, you mean, Las Vegas, New York? Those also they were attacked.
No, over ocean, over the Atlantic or over the Pacific. One of the two. Pick one.
Let them leave
and let them go.
Yeah,
that's
apparently Turo ride-sharing app is the service that was used to rent out these vehicles that were used in these incidents. And Elon Musk said that either a bomb or fireworks were put in the Cybertruck that was blown up right in front of, right there. Uh-oh. Okay, quick, play it.
You see.
So, yeah.
So
it's not a bomb, but it is a detonation, right? So some wow. Hang on.
So look at this one. Look, I would like to point out something there. Look at the windows.
Blown out?
No, they're not even cracked.
Oh, okay.
They're not even cracked. Elon posted, he was like, "You idiots, you picked a Cybertruck. It's built to contain blah 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 and this and this." And he was like, "Did you know it was like it all went up? The explosion went up and not out."
Yeah.
And he was explaining, look, there it is again. He was like, "That's because the Cybertruck was designed to blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah." And he said, well, you'll notice it didn't even blow out the windows of Trump Tower it was sitting right in front of.
Right. I mean, they made the windows bulletproof. So it's pretty good that they were, I mean, and it was not a bomb. It was fireworks. And yeah, fireworks explode, but like they don't have the same force of it as a bomb. So it's not going to blow the window. It didn't blow the windows.
So they don't, I mean, was it a bat? They don't know what it was, but it's very odd that all this happened. Oh,
it is.
Andy, you're just wearing your tinfoil
hat.
hat.
No, it's the core. I think that they're even admitting that. Okay, so they're saying that the New Orleans attacker had assistance. He was not operating independently, and the fact that we have three attacks. The Cybertruck one feels separate and political, but maybe it's not, because that's like a statement about Trump and Elon. Okay, using a Elon truck at Trump headquarters. That seems political, but the others are actually like casualty events. And so I think maybe the Las Vegas and the New Orleans attack are orchestrated, are coordinated to happen at the same time. And we were saying this like 2 years ago. We were like, they're going to let all these people in, and some portion of them are going to be bad actors, and they're going to do terrorist. I mean, we're going to have terrorist incidents, and we're not done yet. Probably there's probably going to be more.
Did you see Did you see where lightning struck on New Year's Eve as well?
Where to strike?
Oh,
I saw
crap.
something. I saw a lightning video the other day, but oh, it struck the Capitol. Didn't it strike the Capitol?
That's one. That's one. So here's the Empire State Building, which gets lightning strikes all the time. Boom. There's the Capitol. And there's the monument. Which I'm sure all three of them get lightning strikes.
They probably all have lightning rods. Like I would not
I know
be surprised
the Empire
if all three
State
of them
Building
probably.
does. I don't know if the Washington Monument does, but I'm sure it's got something up there.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, that's not unusual. I've worked at a radio stations 30 years. We've got towers that I've stood outside before, and when the lightning has hit the tower right behind me, and I was standing outside the building, and you can feel like the electricity before it strikes. You can feel it like your arm and your arm hair. You're like, ooh, cow, and you're like, whoa. That make you pee on yourself, dude.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, one time thunder like ripped like right above me, and I thought I just about thought I was like, am I dead? What just happened? It's never been that close to me.
We had a principal on my elementary school. Principal was hit by lightning twice. That crazy?
That's
he was hit by lightning twice, and he lived to be in his 80s, I think.
Incredibly unlucky.
Yeah.
A year before the New York Day incidents in New Orleans and Las Vegas, the Department of Homeland Security commissioned a study that warned America was facing a new era of terrorism and was ill prepared to protect its citizens from a threat. This is a quote right here. Attacks on soft targets and crowded spaces represent a significant challenge in the 2023 security environment. That was what the Homeland Security Operational Analysis Center reported to the agency. Soft targets are things like schools, and crowded targets are places like malls and shopping centers, movie theaters. We found little specificity on how to secure open spaces and non-secured buildings that, almost by definition, do not have more intensive security measures. What little is present sometimes includes surveillance cameras and other sensors. The only reliable security measure present, however, is the bystanders themselves. So let's make sure to take all their guns. Let's make sure to take all guns from American citizens. So if you live in a constitutional carry state for the foreseeable future, if you live in a city, like, man, you need to be prepared to respond and protect your family.
So you might have missed this over the weekend while you were celebrating Christmas and the holidays. Biden gave a Christmas gift to Zelensky in the form of $2.5 billion more money of your taxpayer money.
Right. That's Merry Christmas, Zelensky.
There's one of the
is that guy burning money in the background?
They've got so much of our money now that they're just burning it in the background and to stay warm.
Roasted marshmallows for Christmas.
President Biden said Monday that the United States will send nearly $2.5 billion more of your taxpayer money in weapons to Ukraine as his administration works quickly to spend all the money it has available to help Kiev fight off Russia before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. This is straight from the freaking Associated Press. Look at this sentence and tell me this is not biased. We'll send nearly works quickly to spend all the money it has available, your money, to help the fight before President-elect Donald Trump takes office, which completely implies that he's going to try to stop the war and spending this money. So is AP trying to help the war? It really sounds like it, or am I just stupid?
And as we were talking about, like, these people are dumb, they are going to buy the consequence of this kind. Don't you feel, maybe I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong. The consequence of this kind of thing is not going to be like an endearment of Ukraine to the American people. It is increasingly going to be generating an attitude of fuck Ukraine. I don't care.
It's already gotten that way. And here's the sad part. This is the even scarier part of this. Okay. I'm going to point this out once again. You see this little logo up here? AP, you see right here,
Yeah.
AP, the Associated Press.
Yeah.
Every single news outlet,
media
can use this, and they don't rephrase it. They will say it word for word. All right. So you're going to have this Mockingbird parroted a million times over. Works quickly to spend all the money before president-elect gets in there. They hope that you don't see this because they hope that you passed English with a C. Okay? Some of us made A's. Pay attention.
Not me.
This is
not me.
This drives me nuts. Another big story that happened, and this is a sad one. The airline passenger crash in South Korea.
Yeah, there were 2 crazy plane crashes. In the last week, there was Russia accidentally shot down an Azerbaijan jet, and then this one in South Korea.
God,
man, a lot of people died right there. A lot of people died.
I don't watch that again. I don't like that.
No, that's not good.
Yeah, 181 souls on board.
Jeez.
So that was like South Korea's worst plane crash or something like that.
Did they have any idea why? I mean, they got all the way to the ground, but they couldn't.
They obviously didn't have any landing gear because it was skidding across the ground there.
Oh my God.
No. It's terrible.
That is.
We don't hate everybody.
Nope. I love South Korea.
So thank you, Brian, who is helping basically fuel the show today. The Daily Mail has confirmed that the Las Vegas Cybertruck terrorist, they've already labeled him as a terrorist, was Matthew Livsberger and has previously served at the same military base as the New Orleans terrorist Samud Din Jabbar. This is the guy that the Daily Mail is saying was the guy, Matthew Livsberger.
Oh, so they served. Oh, he was special forces. A special forces Green Beret blew up fireworks at the Trump Tower.
Nope. You're missing 3 words there. You're missing 3 words.
What?
Remote autonomous systems. What does those 3 words mean?
Drone operator?
Drone robot operator from somewhere else, sitting in another place. That's what those words mean.
Yeah. Drone operator.
An expert at remote autonomous systems.
Well, Why? Guys, can we just get along? What happened to just getting along? What else? Do we have anything new?
I'm looking through here. Oh, I got one that's blocked. Oh, okay. I thought I'd put some more stuff in my secret
stash. Did you see a bunch of Infantada people protested in New York City right after the New Orleans ISIS truck? Yeah, a bunch of activists were waving Palestine and I don't know what these flags are. Stop U.S. for Palestine, whatever. A bunch of them. Here, let me pull this up. I haven't shown anything today. Let me pull this up. This happened right after we had a terrorist attack in New Orleans the same day. Watch on X. What is this? Is that me? What's going on here? Can you see it? I guess you can see it.
Yeah.
Look at these Fucking retards. Fuck these people.
What are they saying? What's it for?
I'm gay. Gay. That's what they're saying.
Oh, okay. It's funny that you do that. You're the king of the segs. You're the king of the unintentional segues. I swear. I've worked 30 years in radio, and you are the best at unintentional segues I've ever seen.
Don't know what I'm doing.
We're going to move on. One of the last stories today to a new sport for the year 2025. Are you ready, JJ, for this new sport for the year 2025?
Is this from Idiocracy? Is it Ow My Balls?
No, but we need to be playing that.
Okay. I don't have my Idiocracy movie here.
I think you're going to be very excited about this because this combines. I've known you for a little while now, and I think this combines two of some of your favorite things. Okay. Which would be soccer, because I know that you're a gigantic soccer fan.
Oh my God, you're trying to make our show blow up.
Soccer.
All about soccer right here on rumble.com/internetdad. Soccer. Maybe the algorithm will hear us.
Soccer, football. All right. So I know you love soccer, and I know that you're a huge disco dancer. You know, I know y'all go disco dancing quite a bit. So I wanted to just introduce this to you because I think you're really going to love Disco Foot.
Okay.
All right. This is Disco Foot, where you combine improvised dance with soccer. So you really can just get out there and be yourself. See, even the coach is
even if you're on the sidelines.
Well, yeah. If you're on the sidelines, you can dance the night away. See, look, this is the truest form of sportsman.
I'm afraid
Gladiator.
How this is related to what I said a moment ago? Can you explain how this is related to what I said a moment ago?
No, I don't know what you mean. Look at this.
Come on, Trump. Let's get in there. Do it.
I think this is great. Don't you love that?
Yes, that's great.
All right, I got one more for you.
Yeah, that's great. That's good.
This is actually, I'm being serious on this one. Me and you are old school comic geeks. That's how we met through comic books. So I've got to appreciate Marvel for that. And we all have our favorite characters. One of our characters that we like and society likes a lot more than me and you do is Deadpool. Okay.
Yeah,
Deadpool's cool.
Like it a lot more than me.
Yeah. Y'all like it a lot more than me. I've liked Deadpool since New Mutants 98. The issue that I wish I still freaking had today that I bought from the comic book store. That was New Mutants 98.
Did I give you a reprint? Didn't I give you a reprint?
No, you gave me New Mutants 87. That's the first appearance of Cable.
Sorry.
New Mutants 98 that I had a couple of copies of because it had this Deadpool guy. And X-Force number 2 has is like the second appearance or the third appearance of Deadpool. So Deadpool became really huge. All right. Everybody loves Deadpool. Have you seen what Marvel's doing to Deadpool? All right. In the comic books, I doubt you have. Let me just show you this and let you read it for yourself. Here, I'm gonna move my camera so you can see.
Let's say, Wade, you better stop. Oh, really? No, he's not. He's grabbing Peter's arm. Oh, that's gross.
Oh, where'd I go? Oh, my bad.
That's gross. Why don't? That seems inappropriate.
That's comics now.
What's going on right there? Explain to me what you think is going on there. Because it looks like Wade Wilson was rubbing up on Peter Parker's arm to make him squirt.
I didn't take it that way. I don't have a dirty ditch mind like you do.
I'm just describing what I saw. Marvel must be in bad shape. Like
you think
books. Their shows suck balls. Nobody gives one crap about Avengers anything.
You think?
I've been watching. Hey, Deke, I canceled Disney Plus. Subscription ends at the end of the month. We had been doing it annual. It's done. It's over. It's canceled. And but not before I get to watch all of the What If episodes that are out. And let me give you a spoiler warning. You don't care. If you watch, forget what happened. You'll be like, oh, all right. Okay, whatever. And but I am also watching and kind of enjoying the Star Wars Skeleton Crew with Jude Law. It's good in space. It's Space Goonies. Pretty fun.
Okay.
But the last episode should air in the next week or two, and then I'll be caught up. I will forget what happened on that show, and I will forget that Disney exists.
Like I have already.
Yeah.
I don't miss any of it.
I mean, like we were so nostalgic about Star Wars. Like 10 years ago, even 10 years ago, after the prequels, I still would have been like, okay, all right. The prequels were not good, but give us a good Star Wars. And like, I'll still love Star Wars. And now we've had the sequel trilogy and we've had whatever. And I'm just like, I don't care. And it feels, what is this feeling where things that you valued from your childhood, really cared about Star Wars. I really cared about about Marvel Comics, Spider-Man, and it's gone. Like the care about it is gone. What is that? Can you explain that? Do you feel the same way about some things?
Yep. There's certain things that I think it's oversaturation too. You know, the radio station when I was a kid, 97 FM used to play Alice in Chains. Like every 2 hours you would hear an Alice in Chains song. And we used to make a joke about it. It was like, man, they play Alice in Chains so much that I don't even want to listen to Alice in Chains anymore because it's always on there. When you oversaturate something like that, people don't want it anymore. And we've had oversaturation of Marvel. You've had an oversaturation of freaking Star Wars to the point that where you're just like, you know, and us people like me that used to play Star Wars Trivial Pursuit for fun with his friends don't care anymore. And when you lose those core people that bought the Star Wars encyclopedias and could tell you what hangar bay the freaking Millennium Falcon took off from, you lose those people. You're losing these people that half these people don't care. They're not going to spend the money on Star Wars stuff like we did, but you've oversaturated it and not listened to us so much that we have lost interest. We're like, Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker's drinking blue. This is blue milk. This is the dumbest crap. You know, and same with Marvel.
So maybe it could be something else here. I mean, those things are true. Like Disney, you know, tries to do a cash grab for these properties, and then it doesn't work out, and then they burn out their audience, and they have to try to acquire a new audience somehow, or else the brand just completely loses value. That's true. Mm-hmm. But Deacon, some psychological research suggests that nostalgia is a consequence of being unhappy with the present. So when in your life, when the forces of nostalgia are strong, when you look fondly back on things from your childhood and that you enjoyed, that means that in that time you may have been particularly unhappy with the present. But now, if the powers of nostalgia are waning, it might be a sign that you're actually doing okay. Yeah. So, bug Star Wars. No.
But let me give you this one. Okay.
All right.
Give you this one. If they came out with a super awesome freaking done movie of the Thundercats, would you be souped up and hyped and want to go watch it? Because the Thundercats were cool. And you can do a lot with that story, but it hasn't been touched. It hasn't been oversaturated.
They had a cartoon a couple years ago. I think it didn't do too well. I don't know if Thundercats would get me, but you might get me with Silverhawks.
Oh God, my God! I can't get you with Thundercats, but Silverhawks.
You might get me with Silverhawks because
Well,
Silverhawk is
next. Mask.
Yeah, I remember Mask. I liked it. It was great. It's like this
car
car turns into a plane.
This car turns into a plane. I want that. But you see what I mean? I mean, you take another property like that. I think they're trying to redo Voltron. They've tried to redo He-Man several times, and even the Kevin Smith storyline was actually really good. It just got hate because people aren't patient. Everybody's like, Tila, and nanny. Now it's like, dude, wait for the story.
Do you know who messed all of this up, to be honest?
The
federal government. No, the federal government. The federal government passed some laws back in the day that said you can't have cartoons as commercials for products. When you and I were kids, all of the commercials we were watching, all the cartoons we were watching were just commercials for you to go buy toys.
That's all He-Man was.
Yeah,
that's all He-Man was. G.I. Joe, Smurfs, Star Wars. That's why George Lucas. The reason, if you go back to you know how one decision will completely change your life type attitude.
Right.
I believe George Lucas's decision that changed the course of history was when he decided to keep the rights to the toys.
Yeah.
He wanted the rights to the toys, and Kenner was like, okay, whatever. And they gave it to him. That's that decision. And think about the repercussions of that decision. It made him all his money. He was able to create the light and sound, and they were able to develop technology that created the Pixar movies. I mean, look how branchy this tree goes from that one decision to keep the rights to his Kenner action figures.
And it was a deal with Fox. They were 21st Century Fox, I think, at the time. Okay, we gotta go. I gotta get on headed to the work, but it's good to talk to you today.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, let's see.
Appreciate everybody floating in and out today, and
yeah, people are coming by. You know why? Because nobody else is back at work yet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Is, just a continuing conversation between me and JJ and Dave. Sometimes Dave was going to try to get free, but I think he's
still doing. Place to join us. And you know what? I'm sorry, Dave. I intended to do some more shows over the break, but I just couldn't make it work. So.
Yeah, that's not a big deal at all. You know, me and him are both like spend time with the family before this stupid show.
So, Deke, why do you know why a chicken coop only has 2 doors?
Because you've told this one. This is like the second or third time that you've told this one. But for those of you that hadn't heard it, it is because if it had 4 doors, it would be a chicken sedan.
Aww.
Thank you. That was very appropriate. All right, I'm going to give you time to look for another one. All right.
Okay.
A new study has revealed that listening to a Queen album, the band Queen, if you listen to Queen albums, that this new study says that it may be bad for your health.
Oh, no.
Yeah, supposedly it's because it has an unusually high mercury content. Thanks, kids. Y'all know Freddie Mercury? I'm surprised.
My robot will not respond to me right now. My joke finding robot. Let me see. Let's see if it'll work over here. Why are fish eggs easy to weigh?
I don't know.
They have their own scales.
Dumb.
That's too much. All right.
I always thought it was strange that Peter Parker worked as a photographer.
Did you?
Yeah, I always thought he should be in web design.
Oh my God. No.
Oh no! Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Essay for a comment, he said no. Watch now, the internet dad show. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Inspire with us, tomorrow's news today.
Do not underestimate Joe Biden's ability.
I love ice cream.
Up.